Hey, this is Shalicia Calloway, Mind Shift Catalyst, Transformation Coach, and CEO of Savvy Queendom. Thank you so much for joining us for this seventh and final day of 7 days to a Savvy Mindset. But before I dive into this topic, I'd like to preface this by saying this is not about being selfish or self centered. I know that the world is filled with people who have no issue with putting themselves first above anyone and all else. We have enough of that, and I'm not promoting that at all. But today's session is for those who are more connected to and concerned about other people than they are to and about themselves. Everyone else comes first, and you neglect yourself time and time again to the point of your detriment. Self-care and self-love are so important. So today's segment is just for you. Are you feeling overwhelmed, confused, drained, spread too thin, disconnected, wrapped up like a mummy in the day-to-day stuff? Ever want to crawl into a cave and be alone where there's nothing to do and no one can ask anything of you? All these feelings are typically our body's way of telling us that it's time to make time and space for ourselves. These are signals. Signals of what, you may be wondering? These are signs that you've taken on too much and very likely have become a yes man or woman. Oh, I'm nobody's yes man or woman, you may be saying, but let me ask you this. How often do you say yes to requests from friends, family, and colleagues, even if you are beyond busy already? When you're not the ideal person for the task or the request adds little to no value to you personally or professionally. Yet, you still find yourself trying to figure out how to get it done. We get so easily sidetracked from the things we need to do for ourselves by secondary activity. There's a simple secret to having better balance, and that's by learning how to say no. Learn to flex your no muscles. Each of us only has 168 hours in the week to take care of our professional and personal commitments. That's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Not a lot of time if we think about it and do the math. We all need to work on saying no more. Each time you say no, you take the first step to saying yes to something else and giving more time to invest in yourself. We can't afford to outsource our resources to someone else and leave nothing for ourselves. You've got to make time to work on you. The next time you say yes to someone, ask yourself, who am I helping at my own expense? Some people struggle with saying no because they don't want to disappoint anyone. They don't want to be rude. They don't want to miss any potential opportunities. But being able to say no is necessary, beneficial, and can be easy. Here are a few tips and keys on how to say no with ease. The first thing is to say no with simplicity. You need to be clear, concise, and don't leave any room for guesswork. The second thing is to respond quickly. Don't leave the request hanging for hours, days, or even minutes. This keeps false hopes that you might say yes and gives the requester time to seek an alternative source of help. The third thing is to give a concise reason why not. Now, this is for those of you that may feel uncomfortable saying no and you feel a need to give the person an excuse. You may not want to give an excuse. I wouldn't necessarily give an excuse, but if that's you and you need some help with explaining why you are saying no, you can say something like, I don't do X, Y, and Z, or my calendar is already full. Maybe you could say this is outside of my wheelhouse. Okay, those are a few suggestions. The fourth thing that you can do if you feel led to do so is to offer an alternative. Again, not necessary, but if you want to feel like you're helping, you can refer them to someone better suited. You can offer resources like articles and books, websites. You can give quick tips to tackle the task on their own, But you have to be careful of this because you don't want them to take up time picking your brain. The last tip is to close and move on. Give them encouragement to press forward without you. Express appreciation for them believing in you and that you have the ability to help, and stick to your guns on your decline of the request. People are okay with hearing no when it's nice, when you are gracious and kind about it. And show some appreciation by saying things like, "Thank you for considering me. Thank you for the offer," and moving forward with your firm no. And if they don't appreciate it, oh well, you're still better off by staying committed to your no. One of the hardest places to flex our no muscles can be at work. Some of us struggle with saying no to extra work projects. But guess what? You can say no and still be a stellar, awesome employee. You do not have to overload and burn yourself out to be successful. Steve Jobs once said, "Focus is about saying no. Increasing your no's will increase your productivity. Rather than splitting your time and attention to pursue a number of things inadequately, you could commit to just doing one thing really, really well." Every person who has done anything worth doing has made an important and deliberate decision to quit something in order to make the space for the important thing. Seth Godin says that saying no frees you to focus on the thing you should say yes to. The way you become the best in the world is by quitting the stuff where you can't be the best. We cannot be the best at everything. It's totally acceptable to scale back on your commitments or even quit some things to accomplish your larger long-term goals. When flying on a plane, they tell you that in case of an emergency, put your mask on first before you try to assist anyone else. You don't have to be the best to or for everybody. Be the best for yourself, and others will benefit from that. Take care of yourself first. Take time out for you. It's okay to say no and invest time in yourself. Stop cluttering your schedule with being nice commitments that derail your focus and pull you away from the things you truly want and need to do for you. Realize that it is your right to have healthy limits, and it is actually your responsibility to take care of yourself and keep yourself safe. By saying no, you are giving yourself permission to do just that. If you don't believe you have a right to say no when you want to, you will find yourself struggling to convey your limits to anyone else. Someone has to be an advocate for you. Don't expect anyone else to do it. Your boss isn't going to do it. Your kids sure won't do it. And your friends won't do it, especially when it's something that benefits any of them. It's your job to stand up for yourself. Time with and for yourself should be an absolute non-negotiable. Self-care is medicine that you can prescribe and feel for yourself. You don't need a doctor to do that. When you take time for yourself, you feel more connected to yourself and your purpose than ever. You have access to deeper levels of calm, clarity, and compassion. It may feel counterintuitive to slow down when things get crazy, but taking time for ourselves is always the answer. It's what we all need more of. Sometimes we merely need to take our foot off the gas pedal and pump the brakes. Stop making such a simple word and act so complicated and learn how to just say no. Over the next few days, weeks, and months, sit down and take some time to answer the following questions. If saying no was a form of self-love, how much are you loving yourself? The next question, are you giving your all to the relationship you have with yourself? Are you giving at least as much as you give to others? And once you answer those questions and be truthful and honest with yourself in those answers, I have a few challenges that I'd like for you to take on as well. The first challenge, create a monthly Red X day on your calendar. What is a Red X day? A Red X day is where you set aside the day to do things you want to do just for you. I have a friend who sets aside at least one day each month just for her. If that means she wants to lie in the bed all day, that's what she's going to do. Or she'll get out, go get a foot massage or a body massage. Or, if she needs to just go put her feet in the dirt for a while, she'll do just that. So take a day just for you to connect back to yourself. The other challenge I have is, if you have a fear of saying no for some reason, start practicing it. Practice saying no with someone safe and use some of the tips that were provided in this video to practice you being able to make a way of escape for yourself and stop taking on unnecessary obligations. Remember, it's okay to just say no. Finding your no may be uncomfortable, but it is absolutely necessary. Speak up for yourself and learn to respect your own personal needs. You can't pour from an empty well. Thank you for tuning in to this 7th and final day of 7 days to a savvy mindset. I hope you begin the new year with a new mindset, and Savvy Queendom can help you get there and help you get on track. Remember, everything begins with a thought. So get your mind right. Thank you for tuning in.